I gotta be honest. I haven't felt this way as a Bills fan in a long time. Not angry, not disappointed, but scared. Scared because for the first time since Josh Allen became Josh Allen, it feels like the foundation of this team is shaking. The coach decision just doesn't make sense to me. The roster, quite frankly, just isn't good enough. And the guy who built it all just got more power. So today I'm breaking down exactly why this feels different and what the Bills have to do to avoid wasting the prime of the best quarterback in franchise history. With that being said, let's get into the 12th episode of the Down South Bills podcast. I am your host, Devin Long, and please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you enjoy the podcast. So Sean McDermott is gone, and Brandon Beane is staying. And apparently he's getting more influence. He's been promoted to the president of football operations, so right now it seems like this team is Brandon Beane's. Yes, McDermott has his flaws. Big game defensive collapses every year. But there's no elite defensive line presence, and it's constant. I mean, I just don't understand how Brandon Beane gets rewarded. That part really shocks me. How do you fire the coach for underachieving but promote the GM who built the underachieving roster? The logic just does not line up for me. And if ownership truly believes that Beane is the long-term visionary, that's what scares me the most. Let's just say it out loud. We don't have any stars. We don't have any difference makers. We have Josh Allen, we have James Cook, we have Deion Dawkins. Those are the Pro Bowlers. Those are the all pro caliber guys. And then we have a whole lot of, okay, pretty good. When your best defensive player might be I don't even know who, that's a problem. I mean, a modern NFL contender needs an elite defensive lineman, at least one of them. And I get that Ed Oliver got hurt, but Ed Oliver is a great pass rusher, fills up the middle. But Ed Oliver isn't a Max Crosby level type of player. Let's just be honest here. And then we need an elite wide receiver. We had Stephon Diggs, and it was kind of, but we need someone better than Stephon Diggs and someone without Stephon Diggs' ego. I know that's easier said than done, of course. But I mean, we really just need game changers on this. Like just saying we have Josh Allen and Josh Allen's going to beat everybody because he's Josh Allen is just unrealistic. And we need better players. And I just don't understand how Brandon Beane survived Sean McDermott and both of them and didn't either leave together or it was Beane alone. And so that part confuses me. And even furthermore, the offensive pieces have been good, not great, and for the most part, just underwhelming. Josh Palmer hurt all season. He's like what the fifth highest paid player on the team or something like that. Get out of here! Come on, Curtis Samuel right after that. Elijah Moore released him, and then now he's on the practice squad on the Broncos and telling them everything about our offense and who knows what else. I mean, individually, they're fine. Fine players that can be wide receiver 3, wide receiver 4, but we need a wide receiver 1. And I'm not telling you we need to go get A.J. Brown because I don't think A.J. Brown's attitude is good for this team. But a Jalen Waddle, a Jacoby Myers who we could have had, a George Pickens kind of player. Like George Pickens has his issues, but I think George Pickens would be a very, very good player with Josh Allen. And then also drafting Keon Coleman. I mean, talented, big, capable of being a problem, inconsistent, and has real behavioral issues. Like I don't know. If the next coach can't fix Keon Coleman, just move on. Release the guy if you have to. But I'm tired of like, I don't know. I'm tired of the internal problems. I'm really just, I'm frustrated just as you guys are. Like, I know this. I don't want this to seem like a big rant. I'm just frustrated just as you guys are, and we're just kind of all working through this together because I'm sure we're all a little bit confused. Even the people who are telling you they know exactly who the next head coach is going to be because they absolutely do not. Dalton Kincaid, incredible talent, but availability matters here, and he's not reliable yet. Dalton Kincaid is always hurt. Dalton Kincaid had a great breakout season this year when he played. Keyword, when he played. When he didn't play, the offense looked absolutely different. It looked horrible against the Texans. Both times we played the Texans, you should look back and see that Dalton Kincaid did not play. We played against the Falcons. Dalton Kincaid did not play, and it looks different. You can tell. But we need someone even better than Dalton Kincaid, and imagine how much that would even open up the offense and make it look better. So, it's just like we need either a wide receiver 1 or high end, a multitude of wide receiver weapons with different skill sets. I mean, like even like a Shaheed and a Jacoby Myers, like those type of level of players. If you have two of those, then we're cooking with something, because those aren't necessarily wide receiver one high end guys, but those two type players together would give you one heck of a wide receiver duo. So I'm just saying, like, we have to do something to make this wide receiver core a little bit better, as well as I mentioned before, the D line. We need somebody dominant on the defensive line. We need actual stars, and I'm talking about, like, the Bills need to hit a big swing this offseason. I mean, they have no choice now after firing Sean McDermott. They have no choice but to make this roster better. I'm not trying to play fantasy football. I know you can't just go out and get everyone, but we already have mediocre players in a lot of spots and overpaid players. So if you just get rid of some of those overpaid players or some of those old players, you can go get a Max Crosby, a Jalen Waddle, a George Pickens. Because what, do Elijah Moore and Joshua Palmer and Curtis Samuel made a combined, like, I don't know, like 30 million? That's one receiver, right? That's one great receiver right there. And then you figure it out around that and have the good tight ends like we have. Max Crosby. We have overpaid player. We overpaid for Von Miller. You could have got Max Crosby then. Like, I just don't understand it. So I don't know. It has to be some kind of explanation that they're gonna give to try to blame all this on McDermott. I don't know if it'll be true. I don't know if it'll be wrong, but it will happen. And I just want to say that I think that this is on Brandon Beane a lot more than he's getting credit for, or a lot more than some people are seeing. And that's not to say that we're doomed, because we may not be. Maybe Sean McDermott had issues within the building. Um, I'm old enough to remember that when people were saying that Sean McDermott fell out with Leslie Frazier, and Sean McDermott fell out with Brian Daboll. I don't know how true those rumors were, but I'm old enough to remember when that happened, and people were saying that there was a power struggle there. So I can understand that there was a power struggle with him and Brandon Beane. I just don't see how Brandon Beane is still here, besides him being maybe cool with Josh Allen and cool with the Pagulas. Dawson Knox, also like the sixth highest paid player on the team. Love Dawson Knox, had an excellent season, but is he fifth highest paid player on the team caliber? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And so, I guess Pagulas trusting Brandon Beane is really the scariest part for me here. Really just probably gonna keep me up tonight, because this is the first day we're hearing about this. It's still Monday. I'm recording this late. I don't know. I'm just gonna be thinking about this. Brandon Beane built an average defense, an average receiver core, really under average receiver core, maybe under average defense that Sean McDermott was coaching over their heads. I guess we'll find out. A bottom half free agency track record, and then a team relying mostly on Josh Allen's superpowers and an abundance of the time. I mean, we handed the ball off to James Cook. We're the most rush aggressive team in the regular season. When it came down to it, we needed Josh Allen, and nobody else made a play. I mean, people were making plays, but I mean, just come on now. We need playmakers. We need a superstar to be it. We don't need players who are trying to revive their careers on the back end. I love Brandon Cooks. He did a great job for us, but we don't need guys like that trying to come in there and have to make a play, and they haven't been doing that. Like, we need playmakers, and I think that's pretty obvious going into the offseason. And I'm not yet confident that Brandon Beane can fix it. I hope I am 100% wrong, but right now it's 50-50, if not 40-60 in the negative for me right now. So I don't know. And I guess with that being said, kind of just talking about before Sean McDermott leaving, Brandon Beane staying, how we can upgrade the roster. But I mean, with Sean McDermott gone, we do have to, of course, get a new head coach. So let's get into some of my ideal head coaching candidates. I mean, no order here, because I haven't really gotten too deep into it. Have looked around, and I mean, personally, I think it needs to be an offensive guy. We've had a defensive guy with Sean McDermott. I don't want to just continue in that same cycle. I think we need an offensive guy. I think the trend around the league is offensive guys. I don't know if it's many right now, but like last year, Liam Cohen and those guys, it was a pretty Ben Johnson. Like, it seemed more a better time to get an offensive coach then. But we do have some candidates that I'm going to get into here. And so in no order, Marcus Freeman says he's staying in college, but this is a high profile opening, and so I feel like maybe coaching Josh Allen could possibly change his mind. I hope so. Whatever. Clint Kubiak. Elite scheme, but if Seattle makes the Super Bowl, then we have to wait until like mid-February, late Feb to interview him. So like that would obviously be too long because then coaches are gonna be hired, coordinators are gonna be hired. The pool is gonna get a little bit smaller. It won't have that huge of an effect, but it might have that. You guys get what I'm saying. Like it's just like that time frame. Like it'll be like a month. So like people are already hiring coaches. It's 3 coaches have been hired and 7 coaching spots left. We don't want to be the last team hiring the leftovers. Um, Brian Daboll, born in Buffalo. History with Josh Allen and the offense. I mean, the offense looked good with Brian Daboll, and we had some fire to us. And so Brian Daboll coming back, being cool with Josh Allen is something that I definitely could possibly get on board for. Davis Webb, a real sleeper pick here. He understands modern quarterback play, and Josh Allen loves him. I believe they're former teammates. Josh Allen, I think they're like somebody referred to them as best friends. I don't know how true that is, but seems like those guys are really close and would definitely require pairing him with like an elite defensive coordinator. But I mean that's with all the guys. So Bruce Arians retired, of course, but long shot. It will be cool. He likes Josh Allen. It will be cool. Robert Saleh, he's the only defensive head coach kind of guy I'm gonna mention. I think he would be good with like a great offensive coordinator, maybe Mike McDaniel, somebody like that. But that's really all I have as far as coaching candidates right now. I don't think I want like anybody who resembles Sean McDermott, like Mike Tomlin. He's won a Super Bowl, but I don't know. He didn't have a quarterback. I'll give him that, but I don't know if I want Mike Tomlin. But as I said, yeah, for the first time, I'm a little bit scared about the future. This is what it boils down to. We have no stars. We have a elite offensive line. Some of those guys, I think, 2 out of the 5 are up for contracts, have to be paid. No aggressive roster vision. We have to make some aggressive decisions here, even if that means having a certain weak spot. If we could, like, for example, we need another safety with Cole Bishop. If we can get Max Crosby and that means we have to play Jordan Hancock at safety, I'm cool with that. Like that's natural. Have a hole in your team because you got an excellent player. But I don't want to like band-aid all of the holes and then try to act like we have no holes on the team when we clearly have holes on the team and we need elite players. Like I don't know. And it's possible to do because we've seen other teams do it. Not trying to compare books, and I know things are different, but we've seen other teams be able to do this with a good quarterback. So I don't want to hear the excuses of we're paying a quarterback, we can't do anything else. I don't really want to hear that from Brandon Beane. And so, yeah, Josh Allen just can't keep dragging this team into relevance by himself. We might be 4 or 5 major moves away. We're definitely not one piece away. We're at least two, three pieces away. And then just kind of as an afterthought, the Broncos game, of course, because I haven't discussed that on the pod yet, but I'm not spending a lot of time on this because it's over and I don't want to sulk on how the season ended. I mean, we obviously all hate to lose. I feel bad losing to the Broncos, whose quarterback went out 2 plays before the game ended. I mean, it sucks. But the turnovers were inexcusable. We didn't punt because we didn't need to punt, and we were moving the ball well. It was simply just the turnovers. The Cooks catch, like I'm not much of an excuse guy. If you let the game come down to the refs, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not an advocate for letting the game come down to the refs and blaming it on the refs. Catch or no catch, I don't attack me for that or whatever. But I'm not an excuses guy. I think if we didn't have as many turnovers and some of them were unforced, we win that game going away. Josh Allen dirted the ball on a Shakir screen. Josh Allen was under pressure but missed Dawson Knox on a game-winning pass. So I'm not like And I'm not blaming the game on Josh Allen. There was plenty blame to go around. James Cook fumbled when we could have went up 2 scores. We had multiple opportunities to go up by a lot of points, and different people made mistakes, including Josh Allen. So I'm not blaming Josh Allen, but I'm also not an excuses guy. Like, we lost the game, and now the more important thing is that we don't have a coach, and that for me is I'm a little bit scared for the future. I'm optimistic. It's fun to have like new things going on, and like we obviously couldn't get over the hump. So trying something new is a little bit fun. Don't hear what I'm not saying, but yeah, I think it's just weird that it's not Brandon Beane who's getting a promotion and Sean McDermott's out. I think it should have been both of them or just Brandon Beane, and that's just my thoughts on it. So Bills fans, one thing that I want you guys to know in my closing, I'm not quitting on this team. I believe in Josh Allen. I believe in the city of Buffalo. I believe in the passion. But right now, the franchise is just at a crossroads. And this offseason will determine whether we stay competitive or slide into mediocrity. And obviously, mediocrity for us with Josh Allen, with having at least probably 3, 4, 5 more years of prime, will probably be like wild card round or just barely missing the playoffs. That would be mediocrity. Or competitive would be AFC Championship, Super Bowl, like that would be competitive. For us to be back in the AFC Championship with the chance to go to the Super Bowl next year, or back or in the Super Bowl next year, or AFC Championship next year, then like that would be competitive. Mediocrity would be making the wild card game next year and losing with the first year head coach. That's mediocrity for me. I don't know about you guys, but we need stars. And I think that's where it starts more than head coach for me. We need bold moves, and we need a real vision from the top. Not Brandon Beane, who's going to yell at people that we don't have wide receivers, but we're scoring points. We need a real vision from the top. And if he's going to be that vision, we need him to maybe lose some of his ego and go make these moves for a wide receiver and for a dominant defensive line to ultimately get Josh Allen and this team over the hump. Because wasting the prime of QB1, Josh Allen, number 17, for me, that would just be unforgivable. And with that being said, that's the 12th episode of the Down South Bills podcast. If you enjoyed the pod, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And once again, go Bills.